Running is 100% a mental game.
All right, and welcome back to The Price for Paradise. My name's Woody, aka Creston Woods, and with me today we have brought on my friend Bridger Deaton from the Lean and Lethal podcast. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? How you doing?
Bridger is a Montana boy all the way down here in Arizona. He hit me up on Instagram not too long ago and asked me to be on his podcast, actually, and we did it, and it was awesome. And I learned a lot from him about his way of podcasting, and honestly, it's really cool to see someone like his age. He's like 5 years younger than me, and he's like way ahead of where I was like when I started podcasting. So it's cool to see like it take off a little bit fast. So, dude, I like the stuff and the setup.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Excited to dive into some more stuff today. I mean, last time we could have gone for hours and hours. The wealth of knowledge you are, and then I'm sure we all got all sorts of stories and whatnot to get into.
Oh, dude, and I've been following you for a little bit now, and I've seen your content. Dude, your content's great. Like, I love the way you style it, and like you have a really aesthetic look to it. And so, what got you into like personal training? Like, what started this whole thing, and why Lean and Lethal?
To start off with, I wanted to go to physical therapy school. That was always the plan, and then did some job shadowing. I feel like everyone that's in the training space now is like, yeah, I want to do PT, and then we figure out what PT actually looks like, because I think we all think it's just working with a bunch of athletes and whatnot, and we figure out what that actually looks like, and majority of it's being in the back of a hospital working with old people that don't really want to be there, and I'm like, I don't know that I can spend the rest of my life doing this on like the backside of injury, and figured out, I'm like, all right, I want to start my own business. That don't really know what that looks like, and then the MFCEO project with Andy Frisella, that was kind of my entry into the whole entrepreneurship space. Like, I had no idea what that is. Nobody in my family is an entrepreneur or owns their own business. So started to dive into that, listen to some of those podcasts, and really just opened up a whole new world of like what's actually possible. And like, we can build whatever we want. And then I'm getting into it, and I'm like, okay, I can have a lot bigger impact on the front end of things and actually helping people build the lifestyle versus after they've kind of already had injuries or done some damage to their body. So that was a big part of it. Obviously, I've been an athlete my whole life, so the kind of vision of working with guys and athletes.
What sports did you play?
Basketball, football, track, swimming at a younger age. Like,
did you play through high school, college? Did you do like anything after?
Just through high school.
Just through high school, and then after high school, did you go to college and like did you do something with that? Like, I went
to Montana State. The big thing there was like some of the smaller schools like Montana Tech and whatnot. None of them had exercise science, which I knew that was the degree that I wanted to pursue. So,
that's nice.
Montana State was the option. Like. And I knew I wanted to stay in state.
I'm really pissed because I got a marketing degree because I was like, I'm a baseball player. So they're like, hey, the physical therapy stuff's on the other side of the island, and your business classes are right next to the field. And so you could play on the baseball team and you get to practice on time if you're, playing on this side of the island.
Yeah, I had lots of friends that played sports, and then they ended up getting degrees that not at all anything that they wanted to do, just because they wanted to play sports.
I'm glad it was business at least. So, as an entrepreneur, it's nice to have some business background. But if I would have known, I would have gone straight into PT or like, exercise science. For sure. So it was like those first 3 years of college, just trying to figure out how to lift outside of the weight room, because you don't have the atmosphere of team sports and that anymore. And got interested in bodybuilding a little bit and started working with a bodybuilding coach there who was giving nutrition and training plans, and learned a whole lot about what not to do. I think it is true though, like being like, once you were the athlete, like it is nice to understand training, but then once you have to be outside of being the athlete too to really deeper understand training. Because I think that's why I went into training, is like I feel like I didn't understand the training enough, right? Like that's where the drive came from. And like for you, is that like, what you were into? So like when you were in college, like what was that like first experience like?
I mean, you walk into a weight room and in high school, I guess for football, you're doing cleans, deadlifts, you're on a platform, you're in a squat rack. Like that's it. That's the extent of what you're using. There's no machines, no dumbbells, none of that in the weight room. Mm-hmm. So right off the bat, that's a whole new atmosphere to get into, and just starting to figure out how to use the different machines. What does training for hypertrophy look like? Because I wanted to put on some muscle. I went from 170 to 215 in the first 2 years of college, and that was like intentional. That wasn't like that's like freshman gains, 50 getting fat. Like I was trying to put on some mass there. So along with that, learning what nutrition looked like, okay, how do I actually build muscle? I was a middle linebacker in high school and I was 170 pounds, so not big at all. And even looking back now, it's like if I knew what I knew now, I feel like my potential in high school would have been, which man. I mean, everyone says that. That's kind of
me and James were talking before the podcast about like, man, if you would have seen my diet when I was a kid, I was eating, cereal and like, all this garbage food. And I was like fighting an uphill battle on like, I could have not been hitting my protein intake, but I was eating like a crap ton of carbs that like maybe have been like too much or like high sugar dumps and at the wrong times of day, not around my workouts and not knowing what we know now.
Yeah, like breakfast in high school, Pop-Tart, box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Eggo waffles, muffin at lunch, and hit Taco Bell up too
for Monster
for lunch, Monster, and then just whatever mom has for dinner. It's like there is zero insight behind nutrition.
Like our electrolyte mixes weren't even good.
I didn't even know what a calorie was at that point. It's like you're not looking at any labels. You're just eating whatever sounds good at the time.
And so when you went on that intentional gains phase, did you take anything? Did you eat just clean? Was it all natty? Tell us all about that.
So I started working shortly after I hired that bodybuilding coach at a supplement store in Bozeman. So obviously I'm learning about all the different things there. What are natural testosterone boosters, creatine, like pre-workout, like the whole nine. So obviously taking whey protein.
Would you recommend that route for a lot of people, like going to like a nutrition store as a trainer and like understanding all like the supplements and stuff like that? Is that good? Is that like a good foundation, or is it like kind of
I got a lot of mixed feelings here because I've been behind the scenes in working. I worked at a supplement store down here in Arizona. I'm not going to say which one it is.
Is it the one I know?
Yes, okay. You know which one it is. But being behind the scenes, it's like, yes, there's some good education, but at the same time, it's like it's all about sales. And what pushed me away from that was the owners and managers of these stores were essentially forcing us or like putting quotas on selling SARMs. And there was zero... Like there was a little bit of education behind it, but there was so much. Sucks. Yeah, the ethics behind it were terrible. There was so much like some guy would come in and sort of say what he's doing. He's like, I'm just eating like fried food for lunch, like not walking throughout the day. Like I train every now and then. They're like,
here, take
red. Exactly. We got the perfect option. And then they'd throw some SARM and he'd be like, is there any negative side effects? No, not at all. Like there's like literally just straight up say that.
People come back with like gyno. Or something.
Literally, yeah. So that was what pushed me far away from supplement stores. So it's like, back to your question, it's like, is going to a supplement store a good route? I'm sure there's some out there that are great, but the majority of them, it's just about sales.
But I don't want you to like think of it in the negative senses. Like, yes, there may have been some like, bad ethics behind that, but what you learned from that is what I'm talking about. Like the valuable experience, right?
From working there
and understanding like what that was in the background too. Because like now as a consumer, when you go buy products, you know what's going on back there more so.
Even outside of the supplement industry, right? Yeah, for sure.
And because like it is an awareness too. Like it's not necessarily, like, even though, now you're not going to do it because ethically you feel awful about it. But at the same time, like it's good to know when you go into a supplement store that's why people are giving you something, a recommendation, not because it's client centric or like client focused.
For sure.
Yeah. But so then you went from there to just more independent training and stuff like that, or
just started coaching some friends, family, things like that. And then over the course of a year, it was like without any sort of plan or intentionality behind it, it was like, all right, I kind of got my own business going here. And then from there, I mean, that's what it grew into. It started off as just Bridger Deaton Fitness. And then I'm like, all right, if I want this to actually be something outside of myself in a brand, I need a name that's not my name. So that's where the Lean and Lethal project came about.
All right, we got the lean part though, but what's the lethal part?
I got to touch on the lean part first.
Okay, keep going.
It's outside of just being lean and having a lean physique. I think a lot of it comes down to like having a lean approach and a narrow focus with what you're doing. There's so many things out there, all the shiny object syndrome, that so many things can distract you.
We have social media world. Dude, you can see all the options for everything, all these many, many doors, but you can only have one paradise. You can't have all the paradises. You can have anything you want, but you have to give up all the other ones to get that one.
For sure. And I think one quote that I absolutely love is, methods are many, principles are few. Methods Dude, I don't even know what it is anymore.
We'll find it on the
methods are many, principles are few. It's like principles always work, methods rarely do, or something of that site. Where it's like if you can just understand what the underlying principles are that drive hypertrophy, that drive fat loss, you can choose whatever method you want, and you're going to get there. But you have to know what those underlying principles are that every single method essentially uses, and what the foundation is. Because if you only understand the quote-unquote method, whether it's keto, carnivore, where it's just removing carbs, but you don't actually understand what are the underlying scientific principles that are actually driving progress, you're going to bounce around from all these things, not understanding where your results are actually coming from, not understanding what factors you really need to focus on, because it gets to the point where life happens, life gets busy. It's like, what is that minimum effective dose that's going to continue to drive progress, where I can block out all the noise and keep my approach lean.
I mean, that's why we hire trainers, is to basically sift through all of the garbage that you see on the internet. And this guy, he's refined it down to what he knows and what he's practiced with his many clients, and he's getting more repetitions with it. So he's probably going to be better than you, who are spending your repetitions at your work and your job and your career, and you do your thing. And honestly, I'm going to go hire someone else to cut my hair, or make my food, or do stuff like that.
Do your taxes.
Well,
You're not going to go learn the whole tax code.
I am not going to learn that. Yeah. But there is people that learn that for a reason, and there is so many conflicting things on the internet. Like, again, you said about the keto, the carnivore, omnivore, and all of these things that you can just say herbivore, whatever you want to do. Like there's many different ways to do things right too. But you have to pick one, and you have to stay in a lane. And so, back to your point about narrow focus.
For sure. So that's the second part of the lean. Now, the lethal is being intentional with your actions, being accurate and precise with where you're spending your time, so that you are capable in what you're doing. Your time is intentional, and you're getting intentional outputs from your inputs, and you're able to go out there and attack life to the fullest.
Yeah, you don't want to just kind of ease into. You want to go after your goals. You want to reach for them.
Yeah,
I think strive,
far too many people are just passive and just letting life happen to them, versus actually taking control of their life and their actions and designing a life that they ultimately want to live.
Passion over passive.
I like that.
Yeah, because when you see someone that's passionate, they're all in. They're attacking it. They're playing offense. They're not playing defense. They're not sitting back and letting the world come to them and deflecting. Right? We're playing the game. I'd rather be in the game than watching or getting on the sidelines.
Dude, just seeing life as a game is a game changer.
Yeah.
If you can, it takes so much pressure off of yourself, one, and then it's we all played video games as a kid. If you can start to gamify things, it makes everything a lot easier. And then when you fail or take a wrong route or make a wrong decision, it's all right, how do I get back in the game and get back my character back on the path? And then you can almost take it outside of yourself too.
Yeah, I have a kid that I use that same kind of structure with. He plays lots of Minecraft and video games and all these things, and I'm like, dude, why are we not working on your attributes? You in the gym out there, we can work on your bicep strength. We can work on your delts. We can build up different attributes on your body. For sure. And your cardio and your energy levels, all of the things that you basically doing for 6 hours a day on Minecraft, when you could be doing that with me, with your real body in the real game of life.
Exactly. When it comes down to self-confidence and all these other things, there's so many guys that are focused on professional athletes or their characters in a video game. It's why can't we take that same energy, which I don't know if it's ignorance or people just don't realize what's possible, but it's we can take that same energy and actually build you to be that character that you want to be, that goes out and accomplishes whatever it is that you want in life.
Yeah.
People dedicate so much time to other people or other things, when I'm dude, you can do that for yourself too.
I do always go back to this though. Whenever someone says live your life and be the main character kind of moment kind of stuff. When I was living in Hawaii, every time I met all the foreign kids, they're you Americans, you guys just live like you're living in your own movies. And I was I think that's the way you're supposed to. I don't know, you don't want to just be a sheep like everyone else, follow all of the things and be led astray, when you need to figure out what works for you and what is serving you and serving your life, and not just, what the masses are doing, because the masses are doing what Kim Kardashian's doing, and that's not always necessarily the right way to go.
That also doesn't mean it's selfish either. Yeah. It's making yourself the absolute best version of yourself, so that you can put your best foot forward and serve others. You got to be selfish before you can be selfless, which I think is very powerful, because there's a lot of people where it's well, I have a family. I got these people relying on me. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to meal prep or train. It's like, you don't have time not to, because by not doing those things, it's like you're giving up years off of your life. You're giving them what's left over at the end of the day of the cup, the half-assed version of you, where it's like if you pour into yourself first, you're going to be able to give far more back to those people.
You're gonna have a bandwidth for it. Like, I love that we do these ultra endurance type trainings. Like, he's gonna do the same ultra marathon as me, except he's doing the 50 miler. I'm only doing the 34.
Which that's just the warm up for both of us, really.
And honestly, this guy, he's running across Arizona, guys. And so, like, there's a big, event coming up soon for you, my friend. And I can't wait to, see how you do on that. And so, first off, can we talk about that for a second?
Let's do it.
He's running across Arizona. Why are you running across Arizona?
The run is, it's not about the run at the end of the day. Like, it's something that hasn't really been done. At least I don't think. It's very challenging
in the other states, right? So like you saw the
there's a
boys
few
just did
there's
it,
a few other
and
states.
that Utah kid did it, and then there's like the Texas one with Matt Johnson, like, so they like, it's starting to become a thing, but no one's done Arizona like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess Cocadona's kind of like it, but
close, yeah. But yeah,
and
so
the Arizona
I found
3.
I'm like, nobody's ran across Arizona, and basically all I wanted to find something hard that I don't know if I can finish, and really something like that, there's no way to really train for it. And the goal with it now is we're trying to raise $15,000 to donate to 3 different families that are affected by cancer. And the reason I chose this is because my whole family has really been affected by cancer. My grandma passed away from it. All my grandparents have pretty much dealt with it in some way. My mom had ovarian cancer this last year, and I've personally had multiple spots of melanoma now on my back that have been cut off. So it's not something that's easy, and it's also not a battle that we get to choose. Like, I'm a healthy individual. I'm fit. I'm doing
you're doing all this
quote
stuff,
unquote
right?
everything right, and it still can happen to me. And it's something that plagues and puts a lot of burden and stress on a lot of families. So I wanted to put myself in a very uncomfortable situation and show that no matter how hard it gets, we can still keep going and pushing through. So that's why I chose to run across the state of Arizona.
Dude, fucking love it, brother. That's like that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. And we love it here on The Price for Paradise, because like our last guest was Chad Charrington, like a cancer oncologist for Ironwood, and like
I'm gonna have to talk to him.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I work with Ironwood, and we do I teach breath work over there for the cancer patients, and I have a lot of girls that are like breast cancer girls, and we do lymphatic drainage with the newbie, and so like it's just really like close to my heart, and this is actually the reason. Like, I brought him on is when I saw his clip, I'm like, dude, we got to do this. And then he's like, first you got to do mine. And then I was like, I just like trying to respond for that one. But this was like the real reason, because I saw it had like a good meaning and a good purpose behind it. And so like, that's why I wanted you on, for the whole background of it, for sure.
Yeah. And that's like Tony Robbins talks a lot. He's like, if you want an unlimited source of energy, find a purpose outside of yourself, and that'll keep you going. So it's
for
like,
sure.
Is there really enough training that I can do to get me through this? No.
Nope.
Is it going to be painful? Is it going to be miserable? Is probably by day 2 or 3, I'm hallucinating and just barely putting one foot in front of another, probably. But it's not for me. It's not to get a medal when I cross the finish line. There's not going to be any medal when I cross the finish line. But knowing the impact that it's going to have on the families that we choose to work with. So, and that's completely open to the public. So it's like, if anyone knows anyone that is currently battling or dealing with cancer, you can go nominate a family, and then
heck yeah,
when we're all done with it, we'll kind of look through those forms and pick out the 3 families that we think can benefit from it most.
Dude, I love it, man. This is great. And so tell me about the plan to get there. Like, when are you going to do it? And like, what's the training look like going into this?
So May 2nd is our start date, and our goal right now is roughly 50 miles a day for 7 days. So we're going to try to get across the whole state in a week. It's 350 miles just across the 40. We're going from Lupton to Bullhead City through Flagstaff, and we're going to try to veer off of the 4-way, so we're not on the highway the whole time. So yeah, really, it's probably going to be between 360 and 300.
Because you're going to add some miles going off trails and
80
stuff like
miles
that.
Total, yeah, with like frontage roads and taking a few detours here and there. Training wise, it's just been trying to get as much time on feet as
it's
possible.
Like steps a day. It's like miles. It's like, how can I get my 30,000 steps every day?
Yep. And funny enough, as we're currently 5 weeks out, and 7 weeks out, I go to the dermatologist every 3 months, and they do full skin checks. And I literally just yesterday was the 2 week mark, so I got cleared back to run again this morning. But I got another mole cut off and had another set of stitches on my back.
Dude.
So I wasn't
another reason to fuel the fire.
I wasn't able to train for 2 weeks, and that definitely was a little bit of adversity that I wasn't expecting, because like training was going well, and then when you just go to, all right, you can't do anything for 2 weeks, it's like not what I wanted to hear. But at the same time, it's like God's got a plan, and this is just adding to the plot. So
it's definitely making it a fun one. That's for sure. Dude, that's crazy, and that's soon. That's not far.
No,
and so
it's came up quick. Like I feel like we were just kind of coming up with the idea a couple weeks ago.
But there's no backing out now. You're all in.
No, we're locked in. Everyone's like, you gonna push it back now that you had your stitches and you couldn't train? I'm like, absolutely not. It's like,
nope, I said it.
You don't get to make the timeline whenever you want when you're dealing with cancer. So we're not changing anything with this run. It's set in place, and whatever roadblocks and obstacles get thrown our way, we're gonna make it happen.
I love it, dude. And so, what are you doing for fueling strategies? Like, for me, learning that was the hardest part of doing these like long endurance stuffs. And like, I finally think I figured it out this last race. And it's been like 5 times where I've like hitting cramps and doing crazy stuff. So like, what are you doing for fueling?
What was your biggest mistake with like the endurance things you've done?
Not eating enough food, and not eating enough salt, and not drinking enough water, and not
so the whole
stuff.
book.
It's literally all the nutrition stuff, and it has nothing to do with like the training stuff. It's like me being prepared like for the race day of like what I needed with my fueling, and like having a better plan going into actual race strategy was a learning lesson many times during these races.
Yeah, nutrition's huge. Just over the course of the few half Ironmans that I've done in the last year, like that taught me a good amount. For both of them though, when I got to the run portion of the half Ironman, it was like getting off the bike 1 mile in, and like you can feel your quads start to cramp up. You get to an aid station, get some electrolytes, some salt, and then it'd be good until you get to the next one. That was a continuous cycle. So definitely getting enough sodium in throughout the day, especially it's going to be hot. It's Arizona. Granted, we're not doing it down in Phoenix, so it's not going to be 110, but it's still going to be relatively hot. And then focusing on carbs. Just carbs are fuel.
What's your carbs of choice?
It's...
Do you do goos? Do you do honey? Do you do...
I like the BPN Go gels that just taste like applesauce.
Okay.
Like I hate the goos, or like the Morton ones they hand out at the Ironmans. Like the texture of those,
Morton's are
horrific.
I can't. Morton's are way better. Like the ones that are actually by GU goo, like disgusting.
Both of those
goo guts every time.
Are good.
But I do honey,
Gross.
so like I'm a big like honey and salt guy. Like that's just salted honey, and you put it in a little squirt bottle, and you just kind of use that the whole time. That's been a really help for me. But yeah, like definitely not the regular goose, because like digestive system wise, like taking certain carbohydrates can really upset your stomach, and then you can't eat anything the rest of the race. Then you're having a hard time stomaching stuff, and that's killing your speed, killing your time.
And you can overdo it too. I overdid sodium in my last Ironman, and it led to like severe gut discomfort where I thought I was gonna have to drop out of the race. Like I got done with the swim, felt great, got on the bike. I think I was like mile 12 on the bike, and my stomach was just, I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't really cramping, but it was in so much pain that I had to stop, and I was in...
What do you use for salt?
What did I use at that time? I think Relight, a scoop of Relight in my bottles. Actually, I think I did 2 or 3 scoops of Relight that time in one of the bottles. I had one with electrolytes, one without electrolytes.
So I wondered, because I was doing some research on electrolyte mixes, and I know like Element uses like magnesium oxide, which can be kind of a laxative effect if you take a lot of it. And so it might not even be the salt. It might be like, or like the stevia, or like the sweeteners and stuff that kind of upset stomach too for people, because like you're not getting actual fuel in, and you're just getting that like sweet, like, ugh.
Which it was stuff that I trained with, and I used it in the first Ironman too. So it wasn't anything new, but I think what I did differently is I think I doubled it in 1 water bottle versus spacing it out over 2 water bottles.
Yeah, because
so
you needed
my
a
plan
ratio
was go back and forth between the waters, because I didn't want just electrolytes in both, and it screwed me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I had never been so close to quitting a race or anything in my life. Like,
really,
I sat there for 20 minutes, and not to get too TMI, but like there was blood coming out the wrong end, and I'm in the porta potty. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to the medical staff and like see what they think I should do. Came out of the porta potty and like started walking over there. I'm like, okay, feel a little better. I'm just gonna hop on the bike and just sort of coast for a few miles, and we'll see what happens. If it needs, I'll just stop on the side of the road and we'll call it. But made it through the bike and then ran the best half marathon I've ever ran in my life afterwards. So
there it is.
I mean, that just goes to show you, it's like no matter how bad it gets and how close you can get to quitting, like,
you could also just run your best half at the end too. It's crazy,
exactly.
Dude. I did that once, I was like, oh, I didn't realize I ran a 2-hour half at the end. I was like, I'd never like thought I had the legs for that. I didn't feel like I was running a 2-hour half, and you check your time at the end, you're like, oh, dude, I was cruising.
Part of like just the atmosphere on those Ironmans though at the end, it's like people along the whole route. It's usually something where you do 2 laps, so like 6 mile laps, and everyone's like just hooting and hollering.
Best energy ever.
It's a good time. So
can't do without the fans.
The bike is miserable because you're just out there in the middle of nowhere, no one to talk to, no one to look at,
no music.
Yep. it's a little rough, but you make it off the bike and it's a party from there on out.
All right, so take me off of a little bit of that fueling strategy for race, but like, what is your fueling strategy day to day? Like, how do you eat, and like, what's your nutrition like, and what is like your, I mean, you preach it to your clients, so you probably have to be really dialed yourself as, someone that practitioner of it.
Yeah, my philosophy is just keep it simple. Everyone's trying to be Gordon Ramsay or come up with something new every day. Breakfast, exact same every single day. I got Greek yogurt, Fairlife shake, and then a G2G protein bar. That's breakfast every single day.
Those are so good.
I know. I wish they a little better on macros because it's more of a fat bar than it is a protein bar, but nonetheless,
it tastes good.
Nonetheless,
you probably could be fine
good.
with it. Yeah, with what you do.
So that's breakfast. Stays the exact same every day. I preach that to all my clients too. I'm like, you can have a fun breakfast with your family on Saturday on the weekend when you got the whole family together, but it's like when you're just waking up in the morning and going to work, just make it the same every single day. Yeah, food is fuel. Like that's the biggest thing.
It's gas.
So many people use food as a reward, and that's what kills them. It's like they go to the gym so they can eat extra food. Instead, it's like, all right, let's fuel our body so we can perform well in the gym. Let's flip that. But nonetheless, keep breakfast simple. That's the same every single day. Lunch, that's usually something I'm meal prepping at the beginning of the week. 200 grams of meat, whether that's steak or chicken or turkey, something lean, and then either potatoes or rice. Usually when I'm cutting, I'll have potatoes because I can a little bit bigger volume. If I'm trying to put on a little mass, we'll go rice because it's easily digestible and you can eat a lot of it.
White rice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
White rice.
Easiest to digest for me.
Yeah.
And like especially with what the amount of calorie load we need is different than, it's actually hard to eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, where other people will be like, oh, I can, I'm having a hard time eating too much too easily. Well, eating enough is very hard as an endurance athlete.
Yeah.
And so what's like the calorie load look like for you? And then the protein macro.
I mean, the last 2 weeks we toned it down because we weren't doing anything. But before that, and as we ramp it up, we're probably at about 2,700 calories.
27.
Yeah.
You need more, dude.
200. Because 350 miles, like,
but you're you're carrying around muscle, like
we're getting some extra weight off though, because it's like over the course of 350 miles, an extra 5-10 pounds. That's a lot, dog. That's a lot.
You're gonna shred it all off of water. You're gonna dehydrate the crap out of you. Oh man, you're crazy.
We're only losing like half a pound a week right now while we're ramping up the training.
As long as the performance doesn't diminish, right? Yeah. So like as long as you're
even for this, it's like I'm not trying to we're not setting PRs as far as pace or time.
Yeah.
It's just building up
durability.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
In the feet, in the knees, and being able to wake up, run right before you go to sleep and get good sleep, and then wake up and do it again. Like that's all this is about.
Volume per week of running.
Once again, it's like we just came off of 0.
Yeah. But before the 2-week break.
Yeah. Probably we're hitting like 30 to 40 miles, which isn't a whole lot, especially like if you're deep into the endurance space. Like a lot of people are like, dude, you need to be running a lot
80
more than
miles
that.
Or something like that. Yeah, but
like at the same time, still running a business, and I don't have 6 hours a day to go run. So
true.
We're running 13 to 20 miles on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and then most days throughout the week we're getting between 5 and 10 miles.
That's plenty, dude. And like day, you're getting your consistencies up, and like again, those add up, especially with your job being on your feet all the time. Like those steps also add to your miles, and like if you put in 20,000 steps, you did go 10 miles that day in general.
It's like
knees,
when I'm working, I'm on a walking pad. I'm walking, like I'm just on my feet as much as possibly can be. And then we're still strength training 4 days a week.
I was just about to ask that one. Is that what's the split look like? Yeah.
So now I'm kidding. Before I was push pull legs was kind of what I usually go to.
Yeah.
I'd go push pull legs and then I do upper lower. That was the 5 day split. Now we're pretty much just doing full body 4 days a week.
Smart. You don't want to over fatigue things. You don't want to like cook everything because you need more of your priority is the running.
For sure.
Right.
So getting in like single leg stuff, more core work.
It also is going to be your advantage is like, how strong you are late in that durability stage because your muscle's going to carry a lot through your joints,
Especially
it's going to save a lot.
Not being injury prone because I think I'm not going to be surprised if I come out of it with some stress fractures by the end. Just with that load, but it's like the amount of strength training I've done over the years, it's like my bones and muscles and my body resiliency is at a point where I'm not worried about like getting injured versus like some people, they go out and they run 50 miles back to back 2 days and might not be looking too hot for them.
I'm just worried about day 2. I feel like that's probably gonna be your hardest day, and then after that, it's gonna be cruising. So, like, I mean, you're just gonna be in like that autopilot zone after that.
I don't know. I'm not trying to.
Soreness, I'm like, yeah.
I'm not trying to set too many expectations. Like
you're right.
My big motto with a lot of it is like, don't think, just do. It's like kind of with all this.
Well, you already
this endurance
committed
stuff,
to it, so it's like, you kind of just have to let go to it, and also not hear what everyone else is saying right now.
I mean, there's plenty of people that are like, dude, you're stupid, and I'd never do that.
Doesn't that make it even more fun though? Like, like I kind of like it when they call me crazy. Yeah.
It's like even me and my friends. There's been multiple times now where it's like we're sitting at dinner, 8 p.m. at a Mexican restaurant, and my buddy's like, bet you won't run 30 miles before church in the morning at 8 a.m. I'm like, all right, watch me. And then go home, get some bags of gummy bears, fill up the running vest with some waters, and go run 30 miles at 3 a.m.
You did?
And then, I did. And then I roll into church at Trinity at 8:30, and I was just passed out the whole time, just cold asleep. But it's like, things like that might seem stupid. It's like those are some good memories and good stories to tell.
Heck
and you learn a lot about yourself because it's like when there's no structured race, there's no support, there's no aid stations. Like it's just you and your thoughts in the middle of the night running through Tempe along the canals, whatever. Stop at a Circle K here and there to
refuel.
Get a Coke or a Red Bull or something and some water, and that's that.
That's insanity. Wait, you've only did this once, right? Yeah.
No, twice.
2 times?
So
wait.
Okay, the first time was just this was like before I really even started running at all. Like I don't think I ran in 3 months before this, and I ran a marathon. I don't remember exactly what the like parameters of the bet were, but I think I had like 24 hours to run a marathon, and I planned on starting like early in the morning, getting it done before it was too hot. This was in September. And had some clients schedule some calls last minute, so I couldn't start until 4. It was like I think it's 3 p.m. 113 degrees outside. We go start this. I'm running.
You are dumb. Like no, like what?
Dude, this is where like the mindset is built in these moments.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
This is not about physical health at all. This is straight about mental fortitude and mental toughness.
Yeah, but for what reason? Yeah, but what's the purpose on this one?
See if I can do it.
Yeah, you could have like done like a charity event or something, like running for like.
We didn't have time to put that together.
I know.
But it's like, I mean, even then,
it's the fuck around and find out idea.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. And I'm like 4 miles into this, and like heat of the day, running like 11-minute miles, like not quick at all. Heart rate on my Garmin 205. I'm like,
thresholding.
I'm like laying down in the park, like thinking about to pass out from heat stroke. But Not a bone in me.
What?
Thought we were giving up. We're like, we'll just let the heart rate go down and then we'll get after it. Because it's like no matter how slow it is,
I'll finish.
We're gonna get it done. Yeah. Which
you did.
I think it's powerful. I think everybody.
How long did that take you?
5 hours.
That's pretty quick too for like someone
being 113, zero
training and for a marathon. That's fast, dude.
Yeah,
I've ran slower marathons than that. To be fair,
I don't think I've actually ran like a sanctioned marathon at all. It's been the one over the night, 30 miles, and then this marathon, and then some.
And he's gonna run across Arizona and this 50-miler next month.
Yeah, so 50-mile would be the peak of it. But I think everybody should run a half marathon because before I ran my first half marathon, which is 3 years ago, dude, I thought running 5 miles was insane. Like, who in their right mind would run 5 miles? Like, that's just dumb. Like, I had zero concept of it.
And now you're that guy.
I had a buddy, he called me and he goes, man, you want to run the Missoula Marathon with me this year? And he was like a cross-country kid in high school. No, absolutely not. I'm not running a marathon with you. Hung up the phone, sat there for a few minutes thinking, I'm like, dude, I sound like a little bitch right now. So call him back. I'm like, all right, I'm not running a full marathon, but I'll run the half marathon with you. So that was end of June, and obviously like it's starting to get hot down here. But that was back in Montana. So zero idea how to train for running. I go out there and I feel like this is what every guy does when they start running. I ran 6 times before the half marathon.
Yep.
First time, 1 mile. Second time, 2 miles. Just out of 1 mile every time. And I went out there and I ran as hard as I physically could.
Right out the gate.
Just as fast as I could. I'm like, I just want to get this done. And come back, exact same thing, like wheezing. I don't even know what my heart rate was. I didn't even own a Garmin at that point. Then I show up for this half marathon, call my buddy who he lived in Missoula, and obviously I flew up there for it. Doesn't answer the phone, doesn't show up to the race, don't hear anything from him. So ran the half marathon by myself, and then look what that's led to now. Done a couple half Ironmans, a couple ultras. Now running across the state of Arizona. So just the beliefs that shattered for me, because it was like I had such a limiting mindset before, and I'm not a runner. I don't run. It's like I still don't look at myself as a runner, but
now even knowing that you can do it is just like the possibility is open now, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, what else? What other area of life is there something where it's like give me a task and I'll go make it happen. I'll get it done.
And I've always been that guy that's like, oh, I can just outwork you. And this is one of those sports where you can just outwork them. It's like I think we should do a last man standing one day. I think that would be fun.
August 1st. We're putting one on in Montana.
Sadly, my August, I will be in Ottawa for Ironman. So
on August 1st?
August 8th. So yeah, I'm not
perfect. The peak of your training pinnacle for the Ironman.
Taper week. Last man standing.
150 miles in a last man standing. That's funny. But yeah, that was we just announced that like the other week, August 1st, last man standing in Montana. The winner gets 10K.
Let's do one here too after in December.
I'm down. We can figure it out for sure.
A lean and lethal paradise, last man standing.
Yeah. We can.
I'm just saying it here, and at first I'm planting the seed, guys. So this is real.
Set it up. You guys all got to hold them to it now.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Arizona Last Man Standing 2027. It's happening.
It's happening.
So yeah, we'll figure it out this time. But I mean, you look at that space even, and nobody like there's Last Man Standings on the East Coast where it's like, yeah, winner gets like a 6-pack of PBR. Like there's nothing that big. So it's like we're like, let's make this something that's just out there and like really gets people motivated. So we'll see what 10K can pull out of people, because I know some people like the BPN one, it was like 150 miles and there's 2 guys left and they went for like another 200 miles just by themselves battling it out, and then they had to cancel it because of weather. Like,
oh yeah,
dude, like running is 100% a mental game. Like
it's crazy, the human spirit. Like you can literally just keep going, and if you keep fueling, and it's just you have something against someone else, you just keep going and going, and people go endlessly. People go day after day with like 10 minutes of sleep.
And like, but I mean, that it teaches you so much. That like, once again, just like I say, fitness is a tool for personal development. Like it's not really about fitness. It's
a spiritual journey the whole time.
Exactly. I think we talked about that when you were on my podcast. But it's like running's just a tool to overcome and deal with pain and discomfort. It's like no matter how long I've been running, it's uncomfortable. I want to stop like a mile in, but you can continue to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 miles. Like it's all just up here and what you allow yourself to believe at the end of the day.
And so talk to me a little bit about your beliefs, because like you're right about, like what you believe carries you super far. And so you mentioned God, you mentioned, your faith and like how that plays into this whole thing, right? Tell me.
Faith's definitely been something newer for me, I'd say, in the last couple of years. Like growing up, we went to church, show up on Christmas and Easter. That was kind of it. I'm like, it's just a bunch of old people that are singing songs and doesn't mean anything to me. And then after being down here for about a year, I had a lot of people just start to like plant seeds, and like all these guys that I was meeting, like went to church, did a Bible study, and I got plugged in with this group of guys who we have a Bible study every Tuesday morning at the Kiln. Not affiliated with the church in any way, just a group of guys that are trying to grow with their connection, their relationship with God, and dive into the Word and learn from it. And when I started off, it was like literally just personal development. I'm like, all right,
like
let's just look
right?
at exactly. That's how I viewed it. I'm like, well, we'll see what it's about, and we'll learn something. I'm
and then you start seeing like the synchronicities happen, and then you start believing more, and then
exactly. I mean, there's been multiple times where I sort of got away or sort of fell out of my faith or kind of back into sort of worldly habits or things that aren't serving me, and I got tested and wake up calls, and like I honestly believe like the melanoma on my back was one of those wake up calls that I was falling away from faith.
I have a theory about that kind of thing, and I talk to my cancer patients about it a lot, and it's just like I think it sometimes can be a mindset thing that can really like. Yeah, God will give you your karma, and like it is like
I don't look at it as karma,
but not that, but you know what I mean. I guess not karma. Yeah, I don't know, but test you in that way. Like you ask for strength, He gives you a gym, right? Like you ask for the effort to do something big. Well, then He's gonna put you in so much like pain so that you understand what it feels to like value it.
Yeah, it's like I gotta go through hard times and adversity if I want to help other people get out of that too. A lot of people are like, man, like with all these different melanoma spots, like, man, God's really picking on you. I'm like, He's not picking on me. He's picking me. He's picking me for a greater purpose, and that's something I strongly believe. So
that's the better frame for it. It's like it's definitely the way to like everything happens for a reason, and you have to find the reason that serves you, not just
For sure.
Going off of whatever random reason, but whatever God's reason,
Yeah. It's like we don't just live life, we live the life that we focus on. So whether you want to focus on, like you said, that positive thing or that purpose, or like what God is, or the reason God's putting challenging adversity, all these situations in your life, like you can see that is helping you build skills and traits that are going to allow you to serve other people and serve Him in a way, or you can see that is everything sucks. Why does He hate me? Like, why is everything so negative? And both perspectives can be taken out of the exact same situation, but you have to choose which one of those that you want to take.
For sure. And then now let's take it off of the faith and let's talk about you as a trainer. And so like, what have you seen, in your practice, and what have you, become aware of the longer you've become a trainer?
I think the biggest thing is that a lot of guys lack self-belief and purpose, and it all ultimately stems from identity. So it's like in high school or college, whatever, like when we're playing sports, our identity, like we talked about this with you, it's like your identity was the sport. That was your purpose. And then we get outside of that, sports are gone, and we don't have any, we're not clear on any sort of identity, because identity is what drives action. So if we're not clear on what that looks like, then we're just going to go back to, all right, whatever's the most convenient thing at the time, whatever's easiest, like whether that's our decisions around nutrition, or instead of going for a walk, just sitting there and watching Netflix, because you don't have a reason, a purpose to get up and do these things. Now, does being in shape and being a lean and lethal man require massive amounts of sacrifice and being in the gym 7 days a week and only eating chicken and rice? Absolutely not. But a lot of guys have got to a point too, especially nowadays, where it's like the average body fat percentage for males is like 28%, which is wild.
Whoa.
And the average body fat percentage for a pig, I believe, is 24%.
Whoa.
Which is a crazy stat. But nonetheless, it's like I'll talk to guys where it's like they're pretty out of shape and they're like, well, no, like I don't really care about the abs. Like that's not important to me. And they tell themselves that story to justify essentially where they're at. One, because they don't think it's something that they can achieve, so that they try to justify it in their mind.
Oh, I was never the athlete of the family.
Whatever story they need to tell themselves,
it up, and then they follow suit of like acting like that person. Because,
exactly,
it becomes their identity.
Exactly, it's like whatever story you tell yourself, that's how you're going to continue to act. So it's like when people are trying to make changes, and maybe they're on for a week, and then they slip up again, and I fell off or I lost track. I'm like, no, you're just continuing to act in alignment with the version of yourself that you believe you are.
They think that they basically their identity is falling off. And I'm like, no, your identity is not falling off. That's just something that we do like when we set goals and we don't think. But if you go to the gym and you fail, you actually grow. Like every single time we're pushing towards failure. It's like a metaphor for all this stuff, but for life. It's like
you see my post on Instagram the other day, it was literally that. It was like we chase failure in the gym because we know it's optimal for growth. Why are we scared of it in every other area of our life?
Like, come on, guys. Like, even if like relationship things, okay, the hard stuff in relationships, lean in. If you fail, guess what? You're closer to the other side, to that next relationship that might be your future wife or whatever it is.
100%. Even like with that, where like guys tell themselves that they fall off and that's their identity, or people are like, I'm not consistent. We are all consistent. You're just not consistent with the habits and actions that are getting you to the direction.
We're creatures of habit. We all do habits all day. You just might have a bunch of bad ones.
Yeah, you're the result of the patterns that you've conditioned yourself to. So if you just start by picking one of those patterns and changing that to something that's going to get you closer to the version of yourself that you ultimately want to become, that's all you need to do. Check one off, move on to the next pattern, and you continue to re-engineer what those patterns are and focus on those identity-driven habits too, not like the outcome. It's like if you're just focusing on, I want to get down to 12%. It's like, who gives a shit at the end of the day? 12% means nothing.
Yeah.
But if you can just start acting every day like a version of like the fit version of yourself, or once again, the lean and lethal version of yourself. It's like, how does that guy act? What decisions does he make in X situation? When someone's offering him or asking him to go out to the bars and drink 4 nights a week, it's like, does the fit version of yourself do that? Or does the old fat version of yourself that has zero self-confidence go do that every single day? And then you got to start making those decisions.
That's because a lot of people got away with a lot when they were young. And then once it actually like came to hit them, then they realize that the price for paradise is a little bit more than they bargained for.
For sure. So it's just a accumulation of small changes and habits, and then also having standards for how you operate on a day to day. It's like,
definitely,
does every single day, 365 days a year, you need to be maxing out every single metric? No, but you should have minimum standards that you hold for yourself, where it's like, no matter how crazy life gets or what's going on, I'm not going to go below this point or miss this.
I love it. And so you have a lot of really good mindsets and like a lot of really good teachable things in your 25. Like, where did you, I guess, get all of this knowledge? Can you take us through like maybe like your top 5 books, some influencers, some people you follow? Like, where did you learn all this? Because like, this isn't all just internalized. Sometimes you have to search, and it looks like you have searched a lot.
For sure. I mean, it goes back to college when I decided I wasn't going to do physical therapy. And sophomore year, I partied hard freshman, sophomore year. But then it was like, after that, all my friends kept partying, and I'd be sitting in my apartment on a Friday night at midnight, reading a book, listening to a podcast, started a clothing brand at that time. So I'm like messaging manufacturers in China. And literally from that point on, it was like doing my first half marathon. What that opened up, I hated reading all through school. And then once I did 75 hard for the first time, and you have to read, that's part of it. Once I did that and read a book that like actually helped me and I could implement into my life, like it just like that opened the door in terms of personal development and learning. I'm like, Like if I could have one like magic skill or trait, it would be like just put my hand on a book and consume all the information.
Just make me chat GPT.
Literally. Yeah, it's just reading books, and then you find some books it's like you read the whole thing and you're like, I didn't get anything out of it. Maybe there's one or two sentences that hit super hard, but continue to that and then actually implementing those practices too. Because I mean, there's plenty of people that read a book, on to the next, read a book, on to the next. And it's like, are you even digesting or
did you take
doing
notes?
anything?
Did you highlight? What was your theme? How'd you do that?
I'd highlight, and then like if there was something good in there, I'd pull it out and like put it in a notes app in my phone.
Bingo.
So between that, books, hiring mentors, buying online courses, which some of those worth it, some of those a complete waste of money. But it's like I've invested more in myself, like monetarily, than an entire 4 years of college cost. Outside of college,
for sure.
And I've learned.
That's actually the best part about our industry is because that there's so many options like that where you can go learn, take a cert, and do a different lane inside of fitness and whatnot. Is because you can keep learning. And, I mean, sometimes you want to go back to school and whatnot, but it's $40,000. And you're like, well, maybe I'll just get a cert.
And just being open-minded too. It's like every person you encounter, there is something you can learn from them. Like it doesn't need to be somebody that has a thriving business. It could be the guy who's an alcoholic who just got divorced, and you could probably learn some very life-changing things from him. So
100%.
Approaching every conversation, every individual that comes into your life, and just being open-minded to what can they teach me. Especially like for myself, like all of my friends are 30 to 35 that I hang around. So I think that's helped out a lot in my growth and having the perspectives and knowledge, I guess, at the age that I've had. But it's like still, I feel like I know nothing.
And being the young personal trainer guy, and all your clients are all older too, and they're all like low-key mentoring you while you're teaching them about fitness and whatnot. And it's pretty cool to see, right? Because like, there is a lot more to life than just the fitness mindset, right? Like, yes, it is a great one, and I think it's foundationally the best one, but, biased. And but there is, like, you learn so much more about life when you're out there in the real world.
For sure.
Talking to people about life.
Yeah. You chase failure in the gym, it teaches you to chase it in every other area of life. And
how you do anything, how you do everything.
That's where growth comes from. So I think if you don't have that and you're trying to build it, start with picking up a dumbbell, start with picking up a barbell, and you're going to start to learn a lot about yourself and gain some new perspectives that, like we said, fitness is just a tool to find out who you are and who you want to become.
Favorite influencer, favorite book?
Favorite book. I always say Atomic Habits, but I think that's very cliche because everyone says that. It's that good, though. The most recent one I read, I think it's The Power of One More by Ed Mylett.
I love that book, dude. It's one of the best ones. The Matrix concept, talked about the reticular activating system, talking about the big blue van, talking about like that is one of the best.
He hits on everything.
And he's got that Christian mindset too, that kind of like wraps it all together with everything. And it's all about like Alcoholics Anonymous, right? And so like if you have had an addiction or something like that, like you're really going to resonate with this book because it's about like him and his father and getting over that alcoholism. It's such a good book. Like Ed Mylett, phenomenal podcaster too. Really, really good.
Favorite influencer. I mean, like growing, Andy Frisella got me started on this track.
75 hard, right?
I'm not going to say him though. Andy Frisella got me started, and then I think Christian Guzman kind of was like that middle phase through college where I watched like every single one of his videos. Now, honestly, like whoever's had the biggest impact on my life, I'd probably say Tony Robbins.
Really?
Yeah,
nice.
For sure. The amount of, like, I got more notes from Tony Robbins on my phone than I do anybody else, with just perspective changes.
And like books, interviews, like is it just like, do you find it like, is there a specific book that's the best for Tony?
I don't think I've read a single one of his books because a lot of his books are like,
like something like that.
I don't think I've even heard of that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know he has like money, finance ones, and then there's some on like kind of biohacking, longevity.
Yeah.
But I went to one of his seminars. It was like a 4-day thing from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day. And it was like a virtual one because it was during COVID. So that was very eye-opening, and then just listen to him on like podcasts or interviews or clips of his seminars and things like that.
Very cool. Yep. Yeah, I love it. And dude, we're rolling up on that last 5 minutes. So any last things you want to give out to the people before? Any last mindsets? Anything you want to market?
I mean, the big thing, we got the Run Across Arizona in 5 weeks. So there's multiple ways if you want to support that. Like I talked about, if you
can I run with you?
100%.
Let's go.
Like,
just let me know what leg. I'll be there.
I need people during the week. I got people on the weekends, and so I'm kind of building out a roster. I got people coming from like Utah. I got a couple guys from South Carolina that are gonna come run some days. So anybody and everybody, you want to come run with us, let me know. I think too, like as we go through some of the small towns like or like Flagstaff, it'd be cool to get a bigger group of people and like do like a 5K through town. But really just bringing the community together as a whole. So right now, looking for sponsorships because obviously there's going to be a lot of cost to get the run done. So people that have businesses that are local to Arizona, if you want to be a part of it and sponsor and help out in that way, that would be awesome. Otherwise, we have a Give Butter page set up, which is like a GoFundMe. So all of the money on the Give Butter page is what's going directly to the families. Perfect. So goal is to get that to 15K. We're going to leave that open till the end of May. So obviously through the run and then end of the month. And then, like I said earlier in the podcast, if you know a family, an individual, someone that is in the fight or just got out of the fight with battling cancer, on that Give Butter page, there is a link to nominate a family. So if you know somebody,
nominate someone.
Whether you know someone directly, it's one of your own family members, you know, someone in your community, church that you think could use it, go fill that form out for them. You don't have to, it can be 100% anonymous, but they would appreciate it, I'm sure, at the end of the day, and I would appreciate it as well because this one's personal. Mm-hmm. It's about far more than the run, and I'm continuing to stack up the scars on my back with melanoma. So, as far as the link for that, I think bridgerdeaton.com, you can just go to that, and then the very top thing posted there is a link to that site to where you can go donate. The link to nominate a family. Or if you're a local business, like I said, and you want to DM me on Instagram, Bridger Deaton PT, or even reach out to Creston. I'm sure
hit me up. I'll get you in contact.
Get us connected. So any one of those 3 ways, or just share the page. Like, if you don't got anything, just share it
on your story. Yeah.
So appreciate it.
Yeah,
appreciate
dude, this has been epic. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course.
And we'll have to do it again soon when after we've done the whole thing.
After our Sedona Ultra and the Run Across Arizona.
Yeah, we'll get you for a recap.
For sure.
Cool, man. Well, we'll catch you guys next week on The Price for Paradise. Thanks for listening, and aloha.
Peace.
That was a long one, but we killed it. That was great. Dude, you could talk forever. You're perfect. It's always nice interviewing other podcasters because they're like all refined and they sound like podcasters.
Funny thing is, like, I'm not.
What do you mean?
I'm extroverted in like certain situations, but like generally, I'm the quiet guy in the room.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
I think part of that comes from being the youngest guy in the room, and like I'm just soaking up information and learning from everyone. So like, I don't say a lot. I listen.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the way to do it, and like you're gonna be doing that forever and be like the smartest guy in the room all the time after that. Mm-hmm.